The short video is to tell you about something new in KUDO, but something we're very excited about, and that's the handover feature. As interpreters working remotely, you will sometimes face a situation where you're not sharing the booth physically with a colleague in the same space or in the same KUDO studio. You could be in one city, your colleague could be in a different city. So you are actually sharing the booth, sharing the same language, taking turns, but you're not at a place where you can just nod your head and look at your colleague and hand it over easily between the two of you, right? Switch the microphone easily between the two of you. So for that, we came up with a new system that's going to be reviewed in this video and that I think you're going to love. So suppose you and I are interpreting into Chinese. So look here, I'm interpreter 01, and I'm interpreting into Chinese. You can tell by my microphone, which is red, indicating that I am actively interpreting, right? Of course, this is just a diagram, but it mimics that situation. And I'm going to alternate between passive and active interpreter to see the series of messages and the procedure that we have adopted to make the handover foolproof and also easy to do, right? So this is what you see, you as the active interpreter, if you're interpreting and your shift has come to an end. So you have to the left of your microphone now a button that says boothmate is available, and you have a button that says handover, meaning that if I click on handover, I'm going to indicate to my colleague that I am ready to pass on the microphone. Now look what the passive interpreter is looking at. So this is the passive interpreter waiting for her shift, and she's looking at a button that says boothmate is interpreting. She could also initiate the request to switch. So if the time comes and I don't send over the microphone, she can actually send me a nudge, send me a reminder. But for the sake of this demonstration, we're going to just mimic the situation where the active interpreter starts the handover situation, okay? Okay, so now when I click on handover, I get a message that says request sent, I, the active interpreter, okay? And I start to get a countdown here from 15 seconds to 0, which is time enough for the passive interpreter, who now gets the message, get ready, and the option to indicate, yes, I am ready to switch by clicking on that button. That's the time it usually takes the passive interpreter to, number one, notice that a request has been made, and to then signal his or her readiness, okay? So now the passive interpreter is going to click on that button to say, I am ready to switch. So I, as the active interpreter, now see this, press go. That indicates that, okay, my boothmate saw my prompt, clicked on it, and she is ready. So I get this prompt now that says, okay, go, and I have 1 minute now. You see the 60, this is 60 seconds. So now I have, counting from this moment where I know that my colleague is already ready, I have 60 seconds to finish a sentence, find a place in the presentation where I can click on go. And when I do that, my colleague is going to, again, get a message that says, okay, be ready for the handover. Well, in between, actually. So while I'm enjoying my 60 seconds, my colleague is seeing this, okay? Be ready for the handover, and the countdown is going from 60 all the way to 0. So I hit the button, and for me it says, now me as the active interpreter, it says handover complete, okay? My microphone is now off. As you can see, it's green, and I already see the busy button here, which means that my colleague has already taken over. So a second before that, basically, my colleague, the passive interpreter, will see this. The microphone is now ready to be taken over, and there's a message pointing to the microphone that says, it's your turn. So now you go, and you activate your microphone, and you're now the active interpreter, okay? So I hope you will enjoy this system. It will take some getting used to, but it's very nicely done in that I just don't have to go into the chat message and exchange messages and so on. It's a series of prompts, and they're also followed by beeps. So every time one interpreter initiates one of those handover requests, there will be a beep at every step of the way. And the final step, when I'm actually sending it over to you, comes with 2 beeps. So even if you're not looking at the interface, it will be easy for you. Something will draw your attention, and it will be easy for you to take over in a manner that is seamless and very easy to do. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy this new feature, and we're going to have a chance to test all of that in real time in practice when you come for the test drive. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.